Hello and welcome to another fly tying session with your host Scott. This pattern is called the Bishop, and this one follows straight on from the Vicar, and it is a variation of the Vicar that I've sort of dreamt up myself. Now, various clergymen out there have different uniforms. The priest or the Vicar normally has an all black uniform with a white collar. We've already tied that one. The Bishop has a very similar robe, except he's got a lot of claret going on as well. So we're going to have a claret rib. We're going to have our collar as per usual, made using our silver mylar. This is a 14 gauge one, 1/32 of an inch. We tie it gold side up, it's gold and silver, to get the proper effect. And then we're going to paint the thorax cover on with this Miley UV nail polish in claret. The thread we're going to be using is a uni thread in black, and we're going to use a clear UV nail, a clear UV resin by Vineyard, low viscosity. That's quite important with this pattern, to cover the whole thing. And then we're going to finish the whole fly with a layer of nail varnish. So I don't believe there's a fly out there called the Bishop, although I haven't done much research, but this is a direct variation of the Vicar. So let's get on and tie it. So we're going to come in at the eye with the thread. I'm going to stop about there. Trim away. Then we're going to get a length of our claret wire. This is actually a copper wire that's been anodised claret. We only need a short length of it really. And again, we're going to tie that in on the side of the hook. Now, I've no idea whether this pattern will catch fish. This is just one I've dreamt up. I'm sure it would. There's lots of different buzzer patterns out there. That's the great thing about buzzers, is you can really play with them. There's that many different variations. So you want to keep your wire tight and guide it round the bend as you bring your thread round. It's quite important to maintain the shape of the fly. And then bring the thread right round to the middle of the bend of the hook, and then you can let go of the wire and then take the thread back up. Now, if you look at a Bishop's uniform, they definitely wear black and claret, or black and burgundy. It's very similar colour to what I'm using anyway. Take the thread all the way up to the eye. I nearly went back early then, but now you want to go back all the way up to the eye, otherwise you end up with a lump. And take your thread not all the way back down. You want to create a slight taper. Probably stop about there. I normally call it 45 degrees from the point of the hook to the fly, but it obviously means you have to mount the hook in the vise at the same angle every time. I've got the benefit of a crosshair on my camera, so I can use the crosshair to gauge that. And we're going to take the thread to about there. We're going to stop fairly early. It might actually be a bit further back than that. Yeah, there is about right. And we're going to wind our rib. Now you never know, this might be the next massive pattern to catch loads of fish that everybody wants to have and gets made famous. I doubt it, but you know, you can dream. I'm going to tie the wire in there, and as we bring the thread over, bring the wire over to 90 degrees, pull the thread tight, and snap it free using metal fatigue. And take the thread up to there and grab your short length of tinsel. Tie it in gold side up. And you're going to tie this as if you're tying a tinsel body, basically, on a butcher, let's say. They go up and then back down again, and then tie it off. Yeah, that looks alright your side. It's right, it looks terrible my side, but so far as it looks good your side, I'm happy. No, I've managed to repair it anyway. And then we're going to build up our thorax using just thread. Now say you're having an absolutely horrible day at the fishery, you haven't had a take, you haven't had a nibble, you haven't had so much as a rise all day, and you just need that bit of divine intervention, and maybe that might be the time to tie on the bishop. Do you think it's a new pattern that will catch on? We shall see. And that'll probably do it for my thorax. I'll come in and whip finish. It is a closer representation of a chironomid than the Vicar, in my opinion, because it shows the haemoglobin in between the segments of the fly. That's your claret rib. Anyway, we're going to apply some UV resin to it, and I normally do the thorax and the collar first. So that we can get the shape correct. I normally apply just a little bit too much to the thorax and then use a needle to cover the collar. So we get our needle. and bubble in it as usual. Bubbles can be really bad. If you end up with a bubble, try your best to get rid of it. This ruins many a good fly, a bubble in my UV resin. That'll be ready to set in just a moment. Turn it upside down, let it pool a little bit. And turn it the right way up. And hit it with the lamp. Now if you've been following this video straight on from the Vicar, then you've probably heard me talk about this lamp before. This is the Dark Beam A300 365 nanometer from Amazon. It's a cracking UV lamp. It's probably a bit overkill for this, but I wouldn't use anything else now. It's probably 3-4 times more powerful than the Bug Bond one, lasts 3-4 times longer, has a better, more energetic wavelength for setting UV resins. The 365 nanometer wavelength is more energetic. In fact, if you leave it on for long enough, you will actually give yourself sunburn with it. So I'm just going to add some UV resin to the body. And we don't want too much, we don't want to completely cover it, we want to show off that segmentation. So you put just enough on, and then use either your needle or the tip of the applicator to spread it around. And you want a little bit where the fly ends on the bend of the hook, just to seal it in. So you don't want to get rust underneath it. We're probably nearly there with that now. And these are actually a little bit easier to do than my usual buzzers, because you don't actually have to get a smooth finish with them. The idea is to get a rough segmented finish to them. Yeah, I can see this fly catching on. Yeah, that rib looks really good. It's not very often I blow my own trumpet, this one's a good one. So we're going to set the resin. Yeah, I really like that pattern. And then we're going to apply a little of this Claret nail polish, because a bishop has I'm not sure what the headwear is called, I'm not a religious man, but they do have like a cap that's claret in colour. Catholic priests, Catholic bishops. There is already a fly out there called the Cardinal. It's a wet fly pattern. So I can't really do that one. Plus the fact, by the time I've finished it, it'll look more like a bloodworm anyway. So So that's the claret thorax cover done. That will do us. I'll set that with a lamp as well. So, yeah, if you're having one of those horrendous days at the fishery and you need a little bit of divine intervention, this is the pattern for you. That one I have called the Bishop, a variation of the Vicar. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Definitely share this one to your mates. I think this one might be the next killer buzzer. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.